Alrighty, just gonna make sure my phone's charged. Yes, it is. Sorry, I'm texting somebody on Discord right now, and that chat is not something I want accidentally popping up on stream. I need a better. I need more monitors. 2 is fine for most activities because you can have like Discord stream, then the stuff that's being streamed. Or no, like regular monitor setup, you can have like Discord and then what you're playing or doing. It doesn't have to be playing. That's like my default use for my PC. But like when I do streaming, 3 monitors is more useful because then I can have like Discord stream what I'm doing. Then I can keep an eye on chats, but I don't have that. I might fix that. Honestly, my whole like setup has been in such disarray. I need to take a day to get that all together. Today's gonna be a bit all over the place. When isn't it? Am I right? Like I really need to take more time to just get things set up in advance. More time to plan and prep things, and things would go smoother. I'd be more efficient with my time. But that will not be today. Tomorrow comes tomorrow, not today. I'm sorry, gorillas. But what am I doing here? Let me answer that question with another question. Do you want to see me beat Prestige 7? It's not going to happen. Maybe it will. I want to be fair to myself. I like to think I've gotten competent at Risk of Rain. Good? I'm competent. Okay? What do you want from me? I play only Commando, which honestly probably the best guy to play if you do want to get semi-competent, right? I don't cheese the game, at least I don't feel like I do. I certainly like to choose one of the harder ways to win, but that may not be an option on Eclipse. So it's not Prestige 7, it's Prestige 8. My bad. I should have named that. First of all, that quote's really cool. I believe that's a quote from what's his name? That is a quote from Mithrix. Alrighty, so the plan for today, let me just get this out of the way. I'm going to try to organize my thoughts. I'm going to stream Risk of Rain, going to try to beat Prestige 8, and then I'm going to I'm going to work on the script for that video. I made some progress, a lot of progress on it when I was on my off days. And where we're currently at is I have the planned pacing and a miniature thesis for each, no, I need to write the thesis for each chapter, but I have the structure of the chapters and the bulk of the content that's going to go in the chapters. What I still need to do is write the thesis for the 2 middle chapters, and the sub-chapters are going to happen in the biggest chapter, which will be chapter 3, I believe. And once I have all that, I can condense my thoughts and write the thesis for the final chapter, and then I just have to come up with an intro. Now, the biggest part is definitely going to be getting those sub-chapters figured out, and then recording the footage for each one of those chapters. The latter may happen today. We'll see, because I have a lot of stuff I need to do today. I need to do dishes. I got some of them done. I got some cleaning done earlier. I'm just taking a break now. It's because I need time to take my Adderall, work through my Adderall, and then have it fall off by the end of the day. Speaking of which, I need to reach out to Ari, so just a second. But on top of that, I have to do guitar practice. I have to get some cleaning done, more cleaning, and get some of that writing done. I want to have the writing near completion by the end of this weekend, and my weekend's almost over. I only have today and maybe tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Let's see.
Let's see.
Sorry, after I finish up sending these couple of messages. Oh, just a minute. I'm gonna message Ari real quick on my main monitor because I had a message I wanted to send him. All right, now that's taken care of. Alrighty. That's a nice, delightful little couple of conversations I had going on. Alrighty. So... Sorry, I met it up well before the stream started, so... I'm hyperactive right now, but my thoughts aren't necessarily gathered. That should change, assuming I can get those distractions. Albeit very pleasant distractions, but distractions nonetheless under control. My plan currently is to do an Eclipse run. Eclipse level 8. Now, I believe this is the one where it adds in permanently ramping damage, right? Still such a cool quote. You only celebrate in the light because I allow it. Now, I could probably do a better delivery on that. You only celebrate in the light because I allow it. Oh man, I need to get a better cool guy voice though. Alright, let's see. Probably stock Commando is my best bet here. I'm gonna turn that off. Not fun nor balanced. And ready up. Okay, so Nude Alter immediately. Nude Alter immediately. And I'm gonna assume all sources of damage will add this ramping debuff, right? So Nude Alter immediately, go for a Transcendence. I'm not going to be cheating with notepads, so we better hope I don't waste all my lunar coins on this run, otherwise I'm going to grind for a while. Alright. I could probably just turn on Drizzle and speed run the game a couple times. Is that another one? No, their cooldowns are just shorter, I forgot. Alrighty. Alright, probably getting allies to help take the blows would be helpful, but my allies would have that ramping debuff too, so... this is going to be hard to do. It might be best not to invest money in them, try to speed through the game and invest all resources into myself, but we'll see. Okay. I'm not used to playing this game like it's a Souls-like. It's horrifying. I feel like Oddly Shaped Opal is going to come in clutch when my health bar gets repeatedly lowered. I'm going to need to be able to survive those one-shots at lower thresholds. But we also need to prioritize DPS. Kill things before it can kill us. So if I see DPS as an option, I need to prioritize it. Delicate Watch, I shouldn't be getting low in the first place. So, fantastic pull, I must say. This sort of run is the only time you're ever going to see me sing the praises of Delicate Watch, okay? I normally hate temporary items, even though I know... objectively, Delicate Watch shouldn't be that bad. If you're good at the game, it is just a good item to have, alright? But I still don't like temporary items. I hate it. Oh, safer spaces reduce the chances of taking damage? Any more wisps? No. No, 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 no. I need to turn this into safer spaces if possible. I called it safer spaces. It's tougher times, but if I can turn it into safer spaces, I need to prioritize that. Need to listen. Noxious Thorn, ramping damage, and AoE DPS. I do like that. So, I'm not going to be hitting Blood Shrines. I mean, Blood Shrines would only be an instance of damage, right? So, it would only add a little bit of the debuff, but I'm still terrified of getting any stacks, especially because I have something to lose now with the watch. Aside from the run, of course. Just focus on the things that are closer. I like Commando, but his DPS does start to fall off at mid-range unless you have items to cover for that. He's still better mid-range damage in a lot of classes, but it does fall off. Gasoline is a great one. I need to find a scrapper. And I'm willing to sacrifice one of the random white items I have in the name of getting that. I would prefer to get rid of Watch, though. I think Gasoline is worth it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Paul's Goat Hoof is good, but I think less chance to take damage is better. So what we're going to... That's not good. Where? Alright. I didn't get the... No, I did get... Did I get the debuff? I am on Eclipse 8, right? Yes, I am. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get gasoline, whatever it costs. Where is it? Okay, focus crystal. I'm fine with taking that. That's a better chance to not lose my other items. Where's that gasoline 3D printer at? I need to find it. I think it was this way. Okay, it most certainly wasn't this way. I'm gonna go back to that goat hoof and go grab it. If I have to risk losing it, that's fine. No, there it is. Alright. Let's get behind some cover and focus down those ranged abusers first. Alright, that's fine. Then I'll just take safer spaces. Well, you know what I mean. And this is perfect. Okay, so it is adding the ramping debuff. So either it adds it at extremely small intervals, or it's just like a 3-hit system. And I think it's the 3-hit system. Either that, or it goes off of big instances of damage. But I do have it now, so that's not super punishing, actually. If it's on a 3-hit system like I think it is, then it's like you get 3 free hits, and I'm hoping it's per stage and not per run. You get 3 free hits, and then it'll stop. It's either that or my safer spaces proc, or my tougher times proc every single time, but I very much doubt that's the case. Also, now I think about it, since it applies flat across all allies, it's probably better to actually stack allies, because that's debuff's going to be getting spread throughout all of them. Also, defensive microbots would be so good on Captain to stop that from happening. It just sucks that it probably wouldn't be the best solo style because Captain struggles with DPS on his own. At least in my experience. Very limited experience, I would say, too. I don't play him very much. Alrighty, while I'm walking over here, I can take a second to look at my phone. Alright, let's get some of these goons. Actually, let's get them low. Actually, no, we should probably just kill them. I was thinking about using them as a pop of AoE DPS, but it's fine. I wonder if Blast Shower can cleanse that debuff. Probably not, because then it'd be the most busted item in the entire Eclipse run. But there might be some item that can cleanse that. And if it's a reduction to your health bar, maybe like items like Transcendence completely negate it. Oh, yes. Good damage. Nope. Don't hit me with that. Alrighty, I didn't get a stack there, so maybe it's either every so many hits. I should have tested this with a control run at the start. Like, just run in, take damage, see what happens. But either it's only damage every so many hits, or it's, like, big enough instances of damage. Or maybe it's damage within short enough time frames that just doesn't fall off after you accrue it. Kind of like Calamity's armor shred mechanics. Like poor gunner drone struggling over there. Thankfully drones can be revived. Me, it's a bit harder to do. Alright, keep that thing off me. If he does his laser attack, that's honestly preferable. Ooh, okay, it is based on how much damage you take. Understood. At least that's one of the ways that it procs. Which is pretty good then that I got the Opal. Opal blocking those bigger instances of damage will stop. Oh my god, those are some good items. Pretty sure I saw a Luck Shrine on this stage too, so let's go take care of that. Holy moly. I'm pretty sure I didn't even clear all the chests in this stage, so pulling a Sail Star is huge. That is indeed a luck shrine, so let's go get some of those items. As much as I would like to start the boss fight, get it out of the way, I think I'm going to want to get that fight over as soon as possible, so more items, please. Old War Stealth Kit, Hunter's Harpoon, and that's both items. Double the choices. Credit card? Ah, that's pretty darn good. I'll take it. Oh, please be Clay Doomstrider first. I'm pretty sure it can't spawn first. Oh, wait. If I know for a fact the stages that the bosses can spawn on, I can force the item I get. That's actually... I never thought about it like that. I had a feeling there might be an item up here. Alright, we go boss fight now. Alright, so we're probably not going to take Supermassive Leech. I shouldn't be getting in a situation where I need that item. If I get bursted down, that's going to make surviving harder anyway, so... What we're going to focus on doing for this run... Oh, I like that. My gun follows my model, so when I do a spin... that's funny. Let's try to keep our distance. It's going to be Beetle Queen. No, Vagrant. Okay. I'm definitely not going to want Vagrant's item, so unless I think I'm going to die to him, I'm just going to focus him down. Okay, starting out, this isn't super bad. I attribute that mostly because I've been playing aggressively safe, and I picked a pretty good character to be playing this sort of run for. Holy jeezy! Big wow! Ow! Oh, that's gonna hurt. I didn't get to see, though, if it does in fact apply, Okay. God dang. Clear out some of these enemies first, real quick. Gasoline's gonna make that burst movement very satisfying when I clear up big groups of enemies, though maybe a little bit disorienting. This is an insane first stage, by the way. Also, I used my Sail Star, right? Did it not drop 2 items? No, I missed it. I missed the item. Because I know for a fact I got that Sail Star at a certain point in the run, unless it gets placed differently in the item order, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. That red whip came from the boss fight. I missed an item. Oh, thank God I'm being uncharacteristic. I'm being uncharacteristically... I hope that's the way to say it. I'm being uncharacteristically attentive today. Good Lord. Alright, we know there's a healing drone over there. And that is... What is that? Whatever it is, there's 2 things over there. There's that. Okay, well, we're going to go see what they are, because now I'm just curious. Well, that's at least 1 crate. 2 crates. Alrighty, we'll see what they are. Soldier syringe. Whoo, mama. The only thing that'll make me drop this item is a credit card. Oh, let the item be true. Oh, wait, no, it was Sail Star. Sail Star on the equipment. That's what I did. Okay, so there's not an item back there. I saw these 2 items and I grabbed them. I think the only reason I was thinking about looping back was maybe because I missed an item, but there wasn't a missed item. Because I forgot I used it on the equipment barrel. Alright, we get out of here. As much as I would like a Monster Tooth to stop myself from bleeding slowly over time, the bleed over time isn't as significant now because face tanking large amounts of damage via healing means is no longer a viable strategy. Like 1 or 2 sustain items would be fine. Just get yourself healed up at the start of the round and keep yourself from getting down to dangerous thresholds. But it's not something I should be prioritizing anymore. I do appreciate that the debuff falls off at the start of rounds, though. Could you imagine if that was permanent across stages? Good lord. It's not impossible. You can totally play this game like a Souls-like, especially if you're playing Mercenary and keep going Intangible. But it would be terrifying to deal with. Also, it is nice that that effect only applies on damage taken, because playing against guys like that would be awful. I do wonder if they give you a little bit of a grace period at the start. I'm gonna guess not, since my drones already have that debuff ramping up. Honestly, I'm getting a pretty decent loadout of items, though I can't really say that on Commando, because all items on Commando are good. I also think using that on a utility chest was actually a pretty good play, because utilities, some of the strongest stuff you're going to get in this game, short of just going for straight DPS. That's unfortunate, taking a lot of damage right now. I gotta position better, or else I'm never going to make it through these stages. Oh, the Mithrix fight is going to suck. I definitely need to put an emphasis on DPS, but anything that isn't DPS, I need to trade off for either item econ, like generating more items, or movement. Because I need to not get hit in the first place. Credit card? Nope. I do think these equipment barrels are worth it, because the chance of getting a credit card fundamentally changes the flow of a run. Recycler is actually huge. Now I have something to swap off of after I kill the boss. I'm going to keep this for the stage, at least. More item control is an unbelievable advantage. Leeching Seed. Yes, yes, yes. That's just a little bit of a sustain that I think is going to make a difference. It's a green tier item, too. Green tiers are some of the most useless items, so to get something like Leeching Seed is pretty impactful, I would think. Alrighty. I'm having fun with this run so far. I like to think that I'm thinking out my choices well. Built off of a combination of knowledge, research, and experience. Strategizing. That's what I'm doing. Kill one and watch the rest fall. Ooh, that's satisfying. Fireworks. I would never trade those away. Give me them. Ooh. Should not have ran through that. Gotta remember, stop making dumb choices like that. I will learn or I will die, as I would say. Propulsion armor plating could also be game breaking. Stop the bleed from chipping away my damage over time. But I don't think so. I shouldn't be getting hit in the first place. And if I am, I'm either not killing the enemy fast enough or I'm not dodging. Don't build for the event that you get hit. Avoid getting hit. In most cases, I would just reduce the chip damage over time, because that's genuinely a viable strategy in this game, just like it is in the hardest modes of Terraria. But that ramping debuff is just going to make any build hard to survive long term, I would think. So I do think killing the enemies first is just your best option. I mean, I won't say no to shorter cooldown on that. That makes me get through the stages faster. Unstable transmitter. I'm just not getting bad rolls today. Like, they're not the rolls of all time that you can see on Commando. Maybe I'm just more appreciative of the items you can get. Red, 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 red. Oh. Well, yeah, it was worth a shot. Actually, this is worth checking. I'm going to see if I can cleanse that debuff. If I can, this does just break the run, but I'm going to guess no. Soldier syringe? You can't cleanse it. Alrighty, fair enough. I'm honestly glad that that's a thing. It would be silly if you could. Also, can I reroll that? No, I can't. I was wondering if the fuel cell would make it possible for me to reroll it twice. It can't, which, you know, fair enough. Alrighty, I bet I can get there safely. Transcendence would be game-changing. I saw like 5 seconds from a YouTube video where a guy was complaining about it being one of the strongest items in the game, and I guess in a lot of cases, he has a point. If I'm going for Transcendence, though, I shouldn't be taking that. Energy drink, absolutely. Get through the stages faster. That's what you need. Alright, nothing more. Where is... Alright, let's take care of the punk down here. Where is he? My medic drone's already dead. That's unfortunate. Maybe if I keep my eyes peeled, I can find it. It does make sense, though, that the creature that can't defend itself is going to be the first one to die. Wow, that's big. Oh, do I re-roll this? I think I do. This could become one of the worst times in the game, but I don't think more dashes would be as impactful as maybe getting that DPS. Runic Lens. My... Again, not the best number I can get, but I'm not mad about it. It's on hit damage. Alrighty. I don't want to get overconfident, but we do have a pretty strong run so far. Let's keep this momentum. So, here's what I'm going to focus on. Because we're making not the best time, but I think we're getting a good start for the time we're putting in. We're going to run up here. We're going to grab that item. We're going to take it, kill the boss with it, finish the stage, hit the nude altar first on the way over. After the stage is clear, we're coming back, grabbing this recycler. So I need to do this as quickly as possible because I don't want to linger. Now, where is it? Is that it? No, it's not it. Alright, there's another chest over here. I'm glad I got that, but where'd my item go? Sticky bomb, I'll take it. Alright, we're going to do one more loop around. If we can't find it, we're going to cut our losses. It's not worth staying and letting the enemies get stronger. It's one guaranteed boss item, and while it could be good, because don't get me wrong, this has a decent chance of turning into a Mired Urn, it's not worth staying. Mocha, yes, please. Right, there it is. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this easier on myself. I'm going to grab this. Oh my god, this is actually huge. Wait. We're going to target up there. Grab you. Take you. That saves us so much time. Okay. Alright, we drop off. Get this. Please don't fall off the map. That damage would be devastating if it applies. Alrighty. Unfortunate, but I still think that that quantum tunnel is a great use of the item. We'll have to loop around, and it'll take a little bit of time, but I'm fine. For what we're getting, this is not a bad use of our time. Spending an extra 2 minutes to stage to itemize this well is worth it, I think. The only thing stronger than the enemies per level scaling stats is your items. I also think it might reduce a flat amount of health instead of a percentage. That's good to know. That means Transcendence really would be game-changing. Wandering Vagrant again, but I kind of have to use it, so let's just get it over with. Alright, here's what I think. I think we get... I should have used the Recycler on it, but I was thinking it's not worth the time. It probably would have been, though. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give the enemies more time to spawn, because there is going to be a set amount of them, so... here's what we do. Grab this. I'm going to Quantum Tunnel up over there. Grab this. Take that. That is huge! And now the enemy's on the other side of the map, so he can't even hit me with his lasers if he wanted. And all the enemies are over there too, so I get tons of time to DPS them down. Let's focus down these pests, then we can focus the big guy. Alright, the healer's down, so he gets a lot less durable. Alright. He's dead. Prayer beats. Not mad about that. I will take more stats. Is that a chest? Yes. Well, I know what I'm going for after this run's over, assuming I live. "12 minutes a stage, but we have fantastic control over our items right now. I hope that'll be enough to justify how much time I'm spending." If I can keep getting movement, honestly, a Stone Flex might not be a bad idea here. But Commando doesn't have movement built into his kit, so it might not be worth risking not being able to get to the final stage quickly. Oh, that's tempting. Let's reroll it. Squid Follow-Up is better than that, I think. We're not going to really get a lot of use for it. I have a Sail Star, so it's not even worth risking losing. So I need 4 more of those for it to be worth considering. They should add, like, a guaranteed 3D printer on, like, stage 3. That'd make the item a bit better. God, like, this is really tempting, but that is such bait, because if I lose half my movement speed, I'll barely be faster than Commando walking speed, which just isn't worth the risk. Yeah, I can't afford to trade off any of my green items for that. Shaped glass is tempting. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna reroll. Transcendence, we take that. And rerolling again would take another. We're gonna reroll one more time. Another Transcendence. And we'll do it one more time. Alright, so I want to try this tech. That combo could instantly lose my money every time I take damage. It depends if taking damage from your shield counts as taking damage for the effects of losing an item. And then if it does it account for Transcendence's interaction of making your maximum health effectively 1? Because if it does, that should mean that losing any health that is equal or greater than 1 health point would instantly clear all your money. Only one way to find out, but the opportunity to just shoot someone 1,000,000 times and get enough money to instantly buy something seems powerful enough to be worth trying anyways. Also, if I can get Transcendence or whatever it is that... Not Transcendence. If I can get whatever it is that allows you to buy... Okay, we're gonna hold that multi-shop off for now. That's huge. Alright, I think the goat hook's worth the most here. I just want to get through the stage as fast as possible. Try to make up for some of that lost time. That's a Mocha 3D printer. That's huge. Let's try to keep our eyes out for a scrapper. That's unfortunate. How much money did I lose? I didn't lose it all. Okay, good to see that interaction's not a thing. I don't even know if I lost any money. I didn't see myself lose any money there either, so either I gained more than I lost, or I just can't lose money right now. Either way, the downside isn't negative enough for that to not have been worth, so good play by me. I wasn't entirely sure how the interactions of the rules worked, but I made a good enough educated guess, and I'm glad it paid off. I'll take another gasoline. Better than rolling something I might be unhappy with. 1 is really all I usually care for, but having a bigger range on it proccing I'm not upset about either. And more damage, too. Can't undersell that. Swear to God, if I beat this on my first try, that'll be really funny, but I'll also be so happy to not be terrified of this nightmare anymore. Cleanse yourself for an increase to your health. That is tempting. How much is this increasing my health bar by effectively? 50% maximum health. So I have double my health effectively right now. I could trade that off for the ability to regen health at will again. And then have... but I could also roll it into any boss item. We'll think about it. That might be something worth trading off depending on what I get in the rest of this run. Okay, that's another leeching seed. I'm actually reconsidering doing that. Roll that. Warhorn, huge. Alright, let's see. What was it? I think it was a white tier scrap I needed. So, do you have anything worth losing white tier? Oh my... Goodbye! It'll scrap any... I mean, all of the... any... we'll lose focus crystal. I'm gonna go over here and hit this a couple times. Lepton Daisy, that's useless right now. Ukulele! Another uke! Is that an equipment drone? No. I think the 10% increase to all stats is worth the risk. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of that white tier item I have, and my prayer beads, actually. And my focus crystal, that's what I wanted. Is there anything else I'd be comfortable losing? Like, 20% DPS cut might be worth... Yeah. Because I do want to warp Deco as well. Alright, this could be the dumbest decision ever, but I want to try it. I lost my Brutal Crown. You know what? Honestly, that's fine. Now, can I re-roll that? I can't. 10% increase to maximum health. That gave me another 300 max health. That slows down the clears of my stages, but... I really wanted the 10% increase to all stats. But now I think about it, slowing down my stage clear, that might not be super impactful because I'm already halfway through the game and the earliest game is the slowest, but the more I think about it, that felt like a really dumb idea. Because I'm trading it off for more durability and a chance at DPS, but I get a guaranteed faster clear, which is effectively more DPS increase already. I guess I'm just blinded by the flashing colors of winning a roll on the slot machine. Alright, that's what I wanted. I remember now. Alrighty. Getting quite zippy. I like it. I think I already hit that multi-shop, so let's just go for the boss fight, and if we see any more items on the way, we'll take them. Run, 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 run. I don't know what the chances of getting that pearl are, though. Because the Iridium Pearl is a 10% increase to all stats, everything, and that's huge. Would it be worth rolling for that twice to cut my health in half? I'm not so sure. Stun grenade, that seems like it'd be nice to have. Changes a lot of interactions in a way I like. I shouldn't be turning my back on the other one, but what are the chances that'll end poorly, right? Editor's note, it absolutely should have ended poorly. Die. Oh, that was scary. What? I'm going to bed. All right, I'll try not to. All right, keep the run going. This is going fantastic so far. It could still end in my untimely demise, but I'm proud of how this run has come along. I would be sad if I was defeated, but I'll still enjoy how well the run went. Let's see, what are those? Cleansing pool? Incinerator drone, I think we will take that. And then what's that? That's the cleansing pool. All right. I usually don't look up numbers like this, but I am going to take a second to just look up Risk of Rain cleansing pool chances. And then I'm going to look up. I'm not going to look up. I'm going to ask my friend for their advice, what they think would be worth. That's 20%. That's better than I thought it would be.
Alrighty. So I just put up the question to my friend Ari. I'm at a crossroads here. I have two transcendences. I know I'm safe right now, and I know I do a decent bit of DPS. I can trade off these transcendences for the ability to heal again, which hasn't been an issue because I don't usually get bled for damage nearly as much now because I kill things fairly quick, and surviving burst is my main issue. But I can trade off these 2 plus 50% max HP gains for a 20%. Alrighty. After consulting with my friend, we both agreed it would probably be best just to skip on this. Where's the teleporter? Okay. I think I got all the chests, and I don't want to waste any more time here. Is that an equipment drone? Incinerator drone, that's right. Hitting 2 pearls is probably just barely worth the trade-off. And even then, hitting 2 pearls being barely worth the trade-off doesn't justify the massive downsides, which would be losing my ability to survive one-shots. Just survive in general, but especially one-shots. Like, 10% attack speed, move speed, and damage amp would probably just barely be worth if I could get 20% guaranteed both. But I can't. That would be like a 1 in 100 chance. Getting one alone would already be a 20% chance. It's not heavily weighted in my favor. And in either case, I'm still seeing an 80% max HP loss. Man, I'm really feeling that lack of Brittle Crown right now. I'm going so slowly, I should have expected I'd have big squishy targets like this to shoot, and probably should have reconsidered my options as far as the Brittle Crown. I didn't realize losing it was a possibility because I didn't think about my items I had before I hit that. That is on me. That's not good. I've already lost so much health. And one of the biggest upsides, I would argue, is that once you have a Transcendence, getting more transcendences is only a good thing. There is no more trade-off for getting any more transcendences. A lot of the other lunar items debuffs also ramp up based on how many of them you have. The same cannot be said for transcendence. It only gets better the more of them you grab. I forgot there's a legendary chest on this map. It's fine. Give me more things to shoot. I need the money. That's unfortunate. That's not what I want to fight. Let's get below some cover, please. Alright, let's start hitting these fireworks. Get some things to get shot around. Please don't hit me with that. Keep getting more fireworks running around. Alright, this far away, I think it's fine to just DPS things now. Another Noxious Thorn, I'll take it. Tri-tip, I'll take it. Alright, let's just focus on shooting down everything that comes my way. As long as I can get 1 or 2 dead, the rest should fall easy. It's not good. I'm already taking so much damage, but hopefully the money I get will be worth. I don't think I took care of the stone golems. No, I hear him. I can hear where they're shooting me from, though. They're down there. Which, honestly, not a super big issue if I just keep moving. Legendary item. Symbiotic! Oh my god! Did I grab a 57-leaf clover at some point? What's going on? Alright, stone golem should be no problem now. Alrighty, we're gonna get rid of potion. Does nothing for me. And leeching seeds are useless too, assuming I don't lose my lunar items. So where are they at? And considering we just discussed what the risks are of losing those items, let's just not even consider the possibility of trading it off. Now, where's that legendary item at? Not down there. Is it up the tree, I wonder? I can't tell from down here. I'm probably gonna have enough money for it either way, so let's just start this boss fight. And let's make some distance, too. Alright, as long as I just keep DPS on him, he will die eventually. Do those stacks fall off? I don't know. I don't want to find out, but I need to take care of those laser beams. Better than what I had. That's gonna hurt. I really think Symbiotic Scorpion is the best thing I could have got on this run. Like, not even to mention anything about the fact that, like, if we're just ignoring the fact that I'm still capable of getting one shot if I take too many hits, or if the game goes too long, this means in terms of damage potential, I can't get outscaled anymore because it is permanently scaling damage amp up. But those guys hit way harder than anyone should be allowed to. They terrify me. Alright, I think we have enough time to go look for that legendary item, so let's do it. 20,000 money should easily be enough. It's on the tree, gotcha. And I get a reroll. Oh, I saw something else. Ceremonial dagger? It's fine, let's try something else. Ow! I'm actually considering not even taking that. That could kill me. Shouldn't have done it. Should've just took the unkill effect, but I was greedy. It's fine, I still think the expected value of getting anything else was worth. Oh, I missed so many chests down here. Maybe not so many, I only saw one. Unfortunately, not the best stage 5. I was hoping for it. I wanted it so bad. But not falling to my death sounds like a nice trade-off, so... Oh, credit card? Not so, but 3 items means effectively 3 roll. No, wait. 1 item means I have another opportunity to get it, so... This one. Reroll it. Spawn the Krusty Krab. I do think I want the red whip. That can help me get around much better in the final area. Trying to play it slow, so let's not run around too much. I hope that increases the amount of uses I get. Oh my god, if I get enough red, like, again, I would normally re-roll it, but if I get enough of those, I might be able to skip the final stage by just shrimping off of something. And I'll certainly be able to outrun Mithrix. For a little while, at least. What am I hearing down there? There it is. I really hope I beat this now, because if I can say that I beat Prestige 8 on my first try, that's a badge of honor I'm going to wear for a while. I mean, I have a white scrap. Why not? I'll keep my eyes peeled for anything better for ATG, 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 ATG. I don't care about Hopo Feather, ATG. Where'd you all come from? I hate children, I hate children, I hate children, I hate children. I'm like Spider-Man from Into... I'm like, Fat Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse before the end of the movie. I hate children, I hate children, I hate children, I hate children. Why do I hear money? Oh my, what? Don't know why that happened, but I'll take it. Is that just a thing Gildeds have a chance to do, is drop money everywhere? I know they drop it on taking damage and, like, dying, but did they just have a chance to randomly say, I'm feeling generous today? Alright, I think this is worth. Plasma Shrimp! That was absolutely worth! Alright, let's do the boss fight. Oh, wait, no, I see another chest. I'm gonna grab that real quick. I'll actually loop up around as well. Let's hit this real quick. Life fruit, interesting. Alrighty. I think we're good. I say as I go to do a full clear anyways. I'm sorry, it's force of habit. I just can't stop. Topaz Brooch, yes please. You can reduce my max health, but you know you can't reduce that. Legendary item? No. Well, I do need a Rose Buckler at some point, so I'll take it. Because knowing that if you reduce the amount of damage you take, also reduces the amount of stacks you'll gain, that is impactful. Why am I taking damage? My health was bleeding for a second there, and I'm not sure why. It's happening again. Oh, barrier. I forgot. Barrier counts as an increase to your effective health. Because, to my knowledge, barrier actually doesn't stop you from, losing challenge, I think? I'll take that. Good item. Whew, okay, I would like to be zippy about the next stage. I gotta remember that I can jump over those waves, but this is huge. We have a really strong run to beat Mithrix here. I don't know if he gets any new fancy abilities, like if there's any secrets that I don't know about the hardest game mode. But assuming there isn't, I think we can win this. I think I have enough raw amount of health to face tank 1 or 2 shots from his laser hammer, assuming both my bubbles are up. And I definitely will be able to survive once he starts summoning in his little friends, assuming I just maneuver properly. If I dodge his abilities that are actually dodgeable, like, I know it's, I know, it's like saying, oh man, if you just dodge everything and never get hit, you'll win, right? But no, I mean, like, if I dodge the things I know I'm actually capable of dodging, because there's only one I know I'm not, usually, consistently at least, and that's the big spinning laser attack he does. If I dodge the abilities I know I am actually effectively capable of dodging, I think we actually have a pretty good chance to win this. If I had to put it to a percentage, I'd say I have a 75% confidence that I'm going to win this run. Pride cometh before the fall, eh? Commando, I'm sure I'm going to eat those words. I just gotta pray that those Chimera don't manage to nick me and slow me down at the start. Getting through the first, like, gates is always the hardest. Hopefully if we get the jump on them, though, we can stop that from happening. Wonder what makes water sounds. Is it rain covering it? Is there perhaps a risk of rain? Alright, let's just try to run by. Come on. As fast as you can. Alright. I actually don't think the Pillar of Blood is doable. It would take, it would, no. No. Please. Please, I can't lose like this. Please. Bubbles come back up. Teddy Bear saves me. Spawn the Krusty Krab. I'm sorry, that's a verbal stim Vinny gave me the other day, and I just can't stop saying it. It's dumb, I know. Alrighty. These ones can be a little annoying, but the close quarters I really do appreciate. Doing the pillars is absolutely going to be the hardest part. Trying to make sure I keep my health above acceptable thresholds for the final boss fight. This is the part where Commando having next to no movement tech in his kit really starts to bite you in the rear end, because most people with this much movement speed I increases would be able to skip the final boss. If I was playing anybody with actual dashes in their kit that didn't scale off movement speed or even did, getting the movement item at the start, the afterburner, would have absolutely been the play. Shattering Justice. I have enough scrap. Let's roll that dice. I lost 1 Predatory Instincts. That's absolutely worth it. I know I have perma ramping damage already, but that is an increase by 50 after I hit a threshold, I believe. That buff, that immediate buff and damage, I think, is worth it, because I'm also pretty sure... Not again. 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 That pillar wasn't even real. Not again. Not again. That pillar wasn't even real. Not again. Not again. Wow. Okay. Get up to the shop over here. I'm wasting a lot of time, but if I don't waste any health, I think it's fine. Alrighty, these ones aren't so bad to charge. I just have to stay inside them and not die. They're Pillars of Soul, so they charge up faster than anything else. They just require that you don't leave. And they also get smaller. The most punishing if you can't afford to stay in the zone. But if you can, they're some of the chillest. don't cover the entire zone, please. Alrighty. I'm sad that there's no lunar pods, at least that I'm immediately seeing. I would have liked the opportunity at another Transcendence. There's probably one around here I'm just missing. God, I'm losing so much health because of those little orbs. Stop! I'm already down almost a third of my health bar. Like, I'm like 20% lost. Which is still huge, don't get me wrong, thanks to the Plasma Shrimp and the Transcendence is contributing so much, but I'm still mad about it. I could be doing better, you know? Alright. Please tell me there's a Pillar of Mass. If there's not a Pillar of Mass, I might actually be boned. There's one Pillar of Mass. Okay, that's good. I can skip the Pillars of Blood. I don't know if you're... I don't feel like in any given run there's only 4 pillars. I'm pretty sure that's more than that, so you're not guaranteed to do one of a type, at least not most of the time. Arguably the best pillar to do, since it doesn't require you to do anything special. If you're good at holding your ground in a smaller space, you're fine. But I do think it charges the slowest, though I could be wrong about them having different charge times, but it feels like the Soul one charges faster. God! Those little gremlins are the worst. Don't die on it. Don't die on it. Please don't die on it. Alrighty, I think I'm going to be getting to the Mithrix fight with maybe a third of my health bar lost. Might be a third, but it doesn't look to be that big. A quarter, that's the word I'm looking for. It looks like about a quarter of my health bar is gone. Which, honestly, isn't awful. Now, the scary part is going to be fighting Mithrix, because each time he hits me is going to dramatically lower the max health I get, making it easier for him to finish me off later. Go home, Lunar Chimera, you're drunk. Alright, let's get out of here. Stop getting in combat, get that red whip to go. I'm so glad I didn't die embarrassingly to falling off. Even if I die here, this is still a commendable first attempt, and I will take my loss on the chin. Alrighty. I don't remember if he cleanses Symbiotic Scorpion stacks when he jumps up, but let's hope he doesn't. That was way too close to hitting. He doesn't cleanse them. That's huge. It does look like he does the jump at thresholds, though. Or this could be because he has shorter cooldowns. I don't quite remember from my last fight, because I only had one fight with him. Thankfully, I managed to beat him first try last time. I do think it's shorter cooldowns. Now, what I don't remember is if he cleanses that debuff between stages. I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure it's like you're fighting a new person, effectively. Now, this is going to suck, because these are where the guys may be able to whittle down my health bar. Make that a yes! I'm already down to half! Okay, wait. I need to hide and actually get my real health up first. That's why Transcendence is busted, though. If you can stay out of combat for just a few seconds, you insta-heal your health bar. Part of it, again. There's a lot of reasons why it's just strong in concept. How much you want to bet those little rolling orbs on the ground have done the most damage to me this fight? This stage, even. He does cleanse them, okay. Alright, this is easily the scariest stage, but I should be fine as long as I can dodge those lasers. That was a really good dodge. Holy crap. That's horrifying. But he stands still for a long time, so if I can dodge, this is actually really good. Oh my god! Please, not the orbs. Not the orbs. I'm actually going to cry if it's the orbs that does me, and at least let it actually be him. Please, 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 please! Oh my god! Okay, okay, what items do I have? What can he hit me with? Oh, he's got Transcendence. That's gonna suck. Oh my god. I'm so one-shottable right now. Please give me literally any item back. I'm begging you. Okay. No! God damn it! It got me with one hit! I knew if I got hit once it'd be over, but that's so tragic. Fuck, it was so close. It was still a good first run, though. Got him down to stage 3. I'm not doing another one because that one was way too heart-pounding. But my thoughts? Don't get me wrong. A lot of that was definitely RNG. Like, a lot of my tempo, at least. That wouldn't have... Well, what am I trying to say here? I hesitate to attribute most of my victory on that one to RNG because there's a few different reasons why that run went so well. Did I get a couple lucky pulls at the start? Yes. And did I definitely get lucky getting that legendary on stage 1 or 2? It was. Yes. But, like, in any given run, you're guaranteed to get one legendary, but you're, like, generally lucky enough to get one, probably, maybe. But on top of that, I think I itemized pretty good at the start. Like, focusing the recycler was definitely the best bet. More control over your build was great. Don't get me wrong, I got a lot of pretty good pulls consistently throughout the game. But, and this is my main point where I'm going with this, Commando does good with most items. To say that you're getting lucky pulls on Commando is to just say, oh man, I'm playing every character in the game and I got a lucky pull. That's kind of unfair. Commando does good with like 2/3 or maybe even 3/4 of the items in the game, especially if you take out that last DLC where they added a bunch of useless BS. It feels really unfair to ever say you're getting lucky pulls on Commando. At least it's not doing justice to how well the character scales with everything. If you get an item Commando 3/4 of the time, that's just going to be, oh man, I got such a good pull. But barring that, the permanent damage debuff isn't as bad as I thought it would be, and that's for a few different reasons. This is partially because I play Commando, but the initial, like, I want you to look at something. This debuff is whatever, but, well, no. When you take this debuff and compound it with that, your healing is so, like, everyone's doing more damage, you're getting less healing, and you're taking more damage. You're not out healing most stages consistently. You're not going to spend most stages at full health. You don't get the option in Eclipse to take damage freely after, like, the 5th stage. I would argue it starts at enemies. I would argue it starts at 5th right here, but you could also make that argument for Monsoon, because don't forget this. That's what I was gonna say. Monsoon already cuts your healing. Let me take a look at Monsoon real quick. I think it cuts it in half, or cuts by like 40%. It cuts your natural health regen by 40%, and it ups the difficulty scaling by 50%. By every metric, there are multiple multipliers that are putting enemies on the most, like, DPS they can have. Like, this is the hardest the game can be. The DPS is as high as it can be by base, and the amount of healing you have is the lowest it can be by base. You are, again, this is on Commando. This can change depending on what items you get, obviously, but like, Commando starting out is always going to be riding that knife's edge. You can't afford to freely take damage at any stage in the game, and I would like to think I'm pretty experienced at this game by now. I have a lot of hours in Commando. I think at least 150 of the 200 something hours I have in this game. Let me just verify that's how many hours I have. Actually, we have stats here. It might be close to 130. I always forget if it's 100 hours and 50 I'm at, or 250. Let's take a look at the logbook. I should have hours in here, right? Well, it'll have all stats, but we can just take a look at time alive. Time alive, that's measured in ticks. It's not measured in seconds. Time alive, here we go. 27,532. So that is measured in... Is that how it's measured? I don't know, but... Is that minutes? That's minutes and seconds. So let's I couldn't tell you. Like 50 hours alive? That doesn't feel right. Whatever. All you need to know is the amount of time I've spent alive in this game. 3/4 of it goes to Commando. And if we take a look at my Steam stats and assume all the time I've spent in Steam, we could probably take away like 20% of it. Worst case scenario for AFKing and not actually being alive. I have almost 300 hours. We'll round it up to 300. I'm 13 off. But when you start getting to such large numbers, that small amounts don't really matter as much. So let's say I spent a third of this game AFK and dead. I have 200 hours on just Commando. Again, in the grand scheme of how far you can progress a skill, that's not much. But considering this is a game, and I shouldn't be putting all of my time in my life into a game, I'd say as far as games go, that's a pretty significant amount of time. Especially considering that's more hours than most of the games I have in my Steam library, and it competes with some of my favorite games on, like, Steam at all. So, getting that aside, we can probably agree that I'm somewhat experienced at Commando, right? I think, like, half of my time spent on this game, all of my time is at least spent on the minimum, like, normal difficulty, but I think half of it at this point, or maybe even more, is at harder difficulties than, it's Monsoon or minimum, like, minimum or higher. I think it's getting close to a third of it is on Eclipse, but the point of all of this is I have a lot of hours in Commando, and especially I have a lot of hours in Commando under Monsoon difficulty at least, and I've been putting a lot of hours in and on him recently across all these streams on, what is it called? Eclipse 8. I have like 200 hours in Commando at Monsoon difficulty or higher, and my what am I trying to... Sorry, my words don't come to me so easily. My verbal dictionary has gotten lower. My vocabulary has gotten much more limited over the years. I need to fix that. Try to study up a bit more and read. But... alternate game modes? Yes. Eclipse. These debuffs all, like... So, the most consistent healing you have in this game is your base health healing. Getting that gutted at the start of the game and then saying, oh, by the way, everyone else also does scale 50% faster, you have already been put into a situation where you can't afford to freely spend health on most characters, because it won't come back to you so easily. There's no guarantee you're ever going to get an item to help you regen, so unless healing is built into your kit, you make it count. This is the experience I have had with Commando, because Commando doesn't have healing built into his kit. He only gets healing per second. This is why I valued healing items so much for the first 7 stages of this game. I started tapering off around stages 7 and 6, though, because that ally healing debuff makes healing much less valuable. It's still valuable in general, though, because of how hard healing is to come by. Like, you got to keep in mind, making healing more limited as a resource, because you are making it weaker, but you're also effectively limiting how often you're able to get it, makes it more valuable by proxy, because whether or not you win a run depends on whether or not your health bar hits 0 before you finish all the objectives in the game. The objective in this game just happens to be clear 5 stages, get to Mithrix. So any means possible to stop your health from hitting 0 is a valid strategy. Transcendence is definitely up there, but Nude Ultras aren't always guaranteed. You may not, if you don't cheat to get the coins, you may not have the coins to get a Transcendence guaranteed. I don't personally like to cheat in with Notepad. I know you can do it. I don't know if it's been patched out. I don't bother to check because it doesn't feel like the designer intent. And while I've clashed with designer intent in games before, Project Zomboid is a great example, I mod it because I like to make it easier, or at least reduce the amount of grind on an individual character, or make the grind carry over between characters. I think losing all that grind is unfair. It's not fun for me. I think the Lunar Coin concept is a fun, well-executed way to make progress linger between runs, but it doesn't make it scale up so much so that it loses its identity between runs. I think it's a fun gimmick that makes content track between runs, kind of like how unlocking new characters and unlocking new abilities is, but not giving people ramping abilities allows each run to feel like simultaneously a unique experience, not getting samey, having the same things happen each round because you spec'd into it, but also it makes it feel like a better show of skill. It's not necessarily that the game got easier, it's that you got better. That's what I like about it. And again, my main point about this is that Eclipse 8 didn't feel that bad. And I'm sure if I tried this a lot more, I'll feel like it's a lot tougher in general. But like, my biggest thing about it is my health across that entire run never got below half for most of that run until I got to the last stage. It got close in one of the stages, but the entire game I spent over half health until I got to Mithrix. And even for the final stage, it didn't get below half until I got to stage 2. If I had more DPS, if I didn't trade off that watch, I probably would have killed him, because my health bar overall would have been higher and I may have been able to survive that shot. I would have cleared the stages faster. I think trading off that watch was probably not the best idea, because I never got to a threshold where I was going to lose it. And I think that's the thing about this difficulty spike. All the other previous difficulties require you to focus on, if you're going to get healing, you cherish it because it's more valuable now, because it keeps your health from you getting one shot. But at this point, since you receive permanent damage, you are always going to be ticking down to that one-shot penalty whether or not you have healing built into your kit. The only way to stop yourself from taking damage is a few select items that change the interactions with how the debuff's actually applied, but then also just don't take damage in the first place. It seems to be that a percentage of the damage you take is applied as true damage, if I can say that, and if it's below a certain threshold, I'm assuming relative to your health bar, at the very least relative to the game stage, it doesn't apply a stack at all. Because you'll remember, at the start of the game, and even in the mid-game, if I ever had Warped Echo up, not Warped Echo, Opal up, the oddly shaped Opal, it was giving me so much armor that most enemies who damaged me, even the enemies that had to charge up a hit to damage me, were applying no stacks most of the time, or if they did, they only applied 1 or 2. So I'm assuming the way the buff works is it scales up based on how much damage you take relative to your own health bar, and since Opal was constantly making me take basically no damage, it was never proccing. I can attribute some of that to the teddy bear too, I assume. That's so like, nothing really changed about my gameplay strategy. I feel like I've already gotten used to, like, I feel like the rest of this, I feel like the difficulty scales up really well here. I feel like this difficulty gears you into a certain mindset that revolves around clear the stages faster, take less hits, play the game better, and it rewards you for doing that. You get to go to the next difficulty level. I feel like the difficulty amp ups here are staged very well. If you put this at the top, it would feel like you're playing an entirely different game, especially if you've never played Monsoon before. But when you put this at the bottom and introduce gently the concepts of less health as a resource, it makes it easier to prepare for the fact that your health is a finite resource on the final difficulty. It always is, but it becomes a finite even more so in the final difficulty per stage. Because, like, you have less starting health. Okay, I have to play more carefully at the start of the stages. I have to take less risks. Okay, then what happens next? Fall damage is more lethal. Okay, so I just have to minimize falling, I can't really make that trade for more mobility. At least I have to think about it more. Enemies move faster. Okay, I have to think about my positioning more. It'll stop me from getting hit in some scenarios, so that way I can, you know what I mean? Like, each one conditions you to be better at the game in different ways that I feel like prepare you very well for the final difficulty spike. And again, I think this is partially because of the character who I play. I play Commando. Commando already by base doesn't usually get afforded the ability to take a lot of damage here and there willy-nilly because he doesn't have healing built into his kit. I have a feeling this would have been a much different experience if you're playing someone like either Mercenary or I don't know if anyone here has the ability built into dodge hits. Maybe the closest you get is Engineer. This difficulty probably wouldn't have felt so bad if you're playing Engineer or Mercenary, because while it's a bigger risk, you have consistently more damage reduction. So I feel like people that are playing characters with built-in healing that can either face tank the damage or not take damage in the first place generally are going to have a harder time adjusting to that difficulty spike, because most of these debuffs don't actually affect Rex that badly. I would argue probably the enemy's moving faster because and attacking faster because Rex struggles with mobility. But Rex's DPS scales almost as well as Commando's does, I think, because of his built-in debuff, and also he scales really well with on hit. And on top of that, Rex has some of the highest healing in the game built into his kit. I think the only one who even rivals him on that would be Seeker or the False Sun, because of how much effective healing he has, since he cuts so much damage and then he also actually heals faster per second. So I feel like if you're playing somebody like False Sun or Rex, who are used to being able to face tank absurd amounts of damage once they start popping off, you're going to have a harder time adjusting to those. But I play Commando. That's something I'm already used to, so I guess where I'm going with this is I don't think Eclipse 8 is nearly as bad as I thought it would be earlier. Seeing how the buff gets affected now, I thought it was going to be if you ever take a hit, you get a guaranteed preset amount, and taking a bunch of hits in a small period of time will rapidly lead to you hitting that one-shot threshold. But knowing that it procs off of how much damage you take per hit makes it easier to manipulate, because you know you can afford to just get in. You know prioritizing items like Oddly Shaped Opal will do you better. And that makes... What am I trying to say here? That makes Warped Echo better, too. Not as good as Opal, obviously, because I noticed Warped Echo, since it was considering you taking damage, any amount of damage taken, doesn't matter if it's from enemy or yourself or what have you, will apply that debuff percentage based off how much damage you took. So Oddly Shaped Opal, or Warped Echo, was still applying the debuff with each tick of damage I took. I noticed that. I got chunked for half my health bar, and as each chunk of that Warped Echo came off, I noticed the damage coming down. But that means if you stack Warped Echoes and then get a few armor-increasing items, if you can break one big hit up into enough small hits, you will take such a small amount of stacks that would equate to less than if you took the full brunt of the blow straight up. So I feel like if you got Warped Echo, and then you took a few Rose Bucklers, and every time you took that big hit of damage, like I took that giant laser hit from Mithrix, I was very lucky to survive it. If I immediately started sprinting with a Rose Buckler, I probably would have resisted most of the debuffs that got applied to me from that. It is unfortunate, though, that of all the items I stole from him, I wasn't able to immediately steal back my Transcendence. I feel like that's a mixture of I didn't dodge well enough, and also I just got unlucky. Because when you deal damage to Mithrix, the items that he chucks back to you are completely random, to my knowledge. If I had gotten lucky enough to pull off some of my better survival items, like either my Warped Echo or my Transcendence, I probably would have been able to survive any other chunks he hit me with and lived long enough to be able to finish off that fight. It's a really unfortunate end, but I'm still proud of myself for how that first run went. It would have been fun to say I beat Eclipse first try, but being able to say I beat Eclipse 8 alone is an achievement, and I'm proud of that. So I do think I'll continue to play it and try to beat it later, but not today. I've got a lot of stuff I need to do and not a lot of time. I might do some writing. I'm going to get a few things sorted out IRL first. I'm going to take a break from speaking for a little bit because this is starting to wind my throat, but I'm going to take a break from speaking, get some water, use the bathroom, text my friends. I'll be gone for like maybe 15 minutes. I'll be back and get some writing done. But again, I'm very proud of how that run went, and I'm excited for the next one. I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. Played a bit of Balatro. Was in the bathroom. I've been trying to go for a Nan Infront for a while. I gold staked everything on Balatro a while ago. I was doing the challenges for a while too until I found out they were seeded, so you're kind of intended to be able to win those in somewhat predictable ways, I might add. So figuring out they were seeded kind of ruined the fun for me. Alright, that should be a good enough stopping point. Alrighty, so let's see. What did I miss? Not much, because nobody ever stops by and says hi. Honestly, I kind of want to end the stream here because I think I'm satisfied with how things went. I have a lot of friends texting me right now, and I really want to talk to them. So maybe doing my writing on stream this time probably isn't the best idea. I like to do it to try to hold myself accountable, but I think today I also want to spend a lot of time chatting with friends because I've been doing that enough lately. So sorry for such a long wait for this, but I think I'm going to end it here. I'll come back and try Eclipse more later, maybe later tonight, we'll see, but I'm going to focus on getting chores done, getting my guitar practiced, and hanging out with my friends. I think that's the better use of my time, so for now at least, that's prioritized. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, so I'm going to sign off for now. I'm very excited to come back and do this. After having that initial learning experience with Eclipse 8, I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as I thought it was, just because I'm kind of used to already playing like that, but only time will tell. Maybe I'll get my face ground into the dirt like the next 3 tries we see, but I can only hope so. Danny Mithrix, please do that to me, but not right now. I'm going to hop off. It's been fun.